bald scalps,
Yeah.
and thumb avatars.
Yeah.
We don't have any of that gay Lego shit or video games or hobbies. We eat nails for breakfast. Literally.
With no milk.
No milk. That's milk. Yuck. That comes from a
With
cow.
American tap water,
Yeah, there we go.
fully chlorized,
Some
unfiltered.
Some dirt. That's what makes us tough. You
Yeah.
gotta suffer. You gotta suffer. That's the point of life as a man, right?
Yeah,
That's
you're
the
only
point. Yeah,
the highest aspiration is to suffer. So suffer for the sake of everybody else.
The highest aspiration is to sacrifice for the comfort of women. How dare you have a hobby? How dare you enjoy your time? The time you could be spending on something valuable like vagina and how it's feeling. Back
Yeah,
to
exactly.
the plantation, maggot.
You may not be getting a lot of vagina, but at least they'll be comfortable. That's the point.
You could feel good about yourself knowing that you put in an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, is what they always say.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's honest work. One old farmer quote. But
It's honest work, but it ain't much.
Yeah, but it ain't much.
Yeah.
I kind of like that farmer guy. He looks kind of cool, but I don't think that's what they necessarily meant. Just having your own, just doing, because he seems like he's doing his own thing. He's got his own. He enjoys himself. He enjoys his work, and he's happy, which doesn't seem to be anything wrong with that. But I think other people want you to suffer for the sake of it. Let me see if I can bring up. Let's see. I could bring up this quote from good old. Oh wait, that's an image. My StreamYard skills are a little bit scuffed, as the kids say. So let me see if I can bring this up. Here we go. Oh, it's the old alpha mindset himself, Cernovich.
Oh yeah, Giga Chad.
Adult men are not supposed to feel happy. It's abnormal. You should question what you're doing. You should feel the tinge of fear. It means you're pushing yourself. The alternative is sitting around waiting to die like some fat fucking Muppet.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Room blower speaks.
Yeah, exactly. There is kind of like a happy balance here, right? Like, if you aren't pushing yourself, then it's easy to fall into complacency. Like after this last week, I was just talking to you guys off air, but I'm going through a little bit of a cold, and like getting back into the gym today when I first woke up, I didn't want to go. I'm like, man, I just feel like crap. It'd feel so much better to go to sleep. And like, it took me a little bit of pushing, but once I got to the gym and I started walking on the treadmill and I just did like a light full body workout, didn't push myself insanely hard, I felt really good. There's something to this, but like these TradCon guys take it to the nth degree and just say that like you should be skinning your nose day in, day out, and you're not allowed to enjoy anything until everybody else around you is fully happy and comfortable and fine with things the way they are. But the truth is just no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. And even like the guy replying to it says, I don't know, man. I feel pretty darn happy when I see my kids smile and get to spend quality time with my wife. I get not being complacent and making sure you're prepared for the future and living up to your potential. Happiness is a good thing, but you shouldn't. That I can't really see the rest of it. But he's like, oh, I still enjoy some, these quiet moments of happiness. At the end of the day when I get to. Isn't that like what you're working for? Like the quality time with your wife, seeing your kid. And then he just tells him, go do something impressive with your life. Then you can talk.
Yeah. I mean, it's also starting with the assumption that like this said guy, and maybe he hasn't, but like that he hasn't already done something meaningful. So like I know that's like a big container word, but as in like he doesn't have a job that he's proficient at or a hobby that's legitimately impressive. When I fix a car at my job, depending on what it is, like when I did a battery on a Hummer a couple weeks ago, I genuinely felt joy doing that. Right? Like you can work your ass off and feel joy while doing that and feel happy that you're legitimately doing something that you care about and that you're proficient at. and that you know is going to make somebody else's life better off, right? Because that person who obviously was going to buy that Hummer was very excited to get their vehicle. I've felt legitimate joy doing that because nobody else in my shop had did that yet. I was the first one in our shop to be the guy to take the battery out of the Hummer, put it back in, and make sure everything works. Like, is that wrong to feel happy for doing that? I mean, yeah, when I first started tearing it apart, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go, because a high voltage vehicle can and will kill you. So,
Wow.
doing something like that is cool. But then, going to the gym or going out and playing shows with my band, I thoroughly enjoy that too. Like, it can't just always be the alpha grind set, because people get burned out by that shit, man. I'm sure we've all seen it, guys who just completely run their life into the ground for other people.
No, yeah, absolutely. And like,
Goddamn
isn't
Billy.
is that all fake people?
Yeah.
I gotta figure. Are you modded on my thing? Oh, hello, Dante. Hey, oop, and gone.
In and out.
Boom. But yeah, there's like also this like social component that bothers me. Like, go do something impressive. Like, what? Impressive to who? Like, if you want to be the best, farmer in your community, or you want to be like the best, even like your best fighting game player ever, and you can make a good living, you have people that respect you doing that. Is that bad? Is that impressive? Like, who's supposed to be impressed by that?
Well, and on top of that, should you care if other people are impressed? Like, I'm sure some people have probably told me that my band's impressive, but like,
Mm,
that's something I choose. And there's been people that tell me that my band sucks. Who am I
yeah,
supposed to believe here? The
yeah.
people in your life that matter the most to you, if they like it, cool. If they don't, this is part of the whole conversation of frame, which we talked about this a little bit yesterday on Rule Zero. But like, you can kind of decide what you give a shit about. You don't have to, hope and pray that your almighty Troon fucker Cernovich is happy with you because you successfully, committed to 100% grind set, or that you listened to 3,000 Patrick Bet David podcasts and then did exactly what he told you to do and scam a whole bunch of people. You can decide what your parameters for impressive is, and if you're happy with that. And like, I'm not saying you should set your standards low, because I think most people listening to this probably are capable of doing a lot better than they are. But like, at a certain point, you got to know when it's time to deload. Like, when I think about working out, if you're constantly going for a 1 rep max on the deadlift every single week, eventually you're going to get hurt. And that's your body telling you that like you went way too hard for way too long.
Mhm,
Hmm.
exactly. What are your thoughts on this, Jack?
Like on the whole thing, like adult men are not supposed to feel happy. It's like, look, what are we supposed to feel, Mike? What are we supposed to feel? Like a dick in our mouths?
Mhm,
The wind's blowing a different end to adjust our political grift. It's like, what does it even mean? What does it even mean? I'm happy when I wake up. I'm happy when I have my coffee. Am I supposed to be angry about it? Like, this is so stupid. Like,
mhm,
men only thrive in suffering. It's like, no, we don't. No, we don't. We like, of course, discontent does fuel us, but it's the moments of contentment that make us realize what we do it for. I worked hard to be able to have the freedom to have my coffee maker next to my bed, and just push it as soon as I wake up and then enjoy my coffee in the liberty of my own home, kind of thing. It's like, why am I not supposed to enjoy that? Like,
yeah,
the alternative is sitting around waiting to die? No, it isn't. There's just because you're happy doesn't mean you're going to sit around and wait to die. Because you're happy, you're going to do everything to keep it. Because you're happy, you're going to do everything in your power to be able to keep that feeling. You're going to work harder for it. I am very happy with the reach I have on Substack. Does that mean I'm going to quit? No, that means I'm going to work harder to gain even a greater reach. Like, this is just built on what? This is one giant circle jerk. Navel gazing is what this is.
mhm.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a big YouTube section, and I'm sure we all probably listen to it at some point. But yeah, like the the Cernovich, all these like moderately right wing guys who just once again, it's all about the grind set, motivational videos where they put this incredibly loud motivational music behind every single speech that somebody does. And then that's supposed to make you feel motivated. And then what? Like motivation really isn't it's good. Obviously, you should be motivated to do things, but at the same time, like discipline's what kind of keeps you going, right? People are
Mhm.
just motivation for motivation's sake really isn't anything. Like Jack said, it's like navel gazing.
Yeah. I feel like people are either there's like the pursuit of pleasure and there's the avoidance of pain, and that's two of like the most basic, motivations to do anything. And it's like if there's also like pleasure to be gained through life, through doing these things, working out,
There's a
pursuing your
demographic that gets off on um, being hard. You know what I mean?
yeah.
There's a demographic, especially if you're young. You don't like where you are, and like you're young, of course. Like you're in your early 20s, you don't like where you are at the moment. Especially if you're poor, or you haven't gotten laid, or you don't have girls, or you don't have a social life. Yeah, you don't like where you are. And so instead of realizing that you have a deficiency, what people like to substitute that for is, I'm on my grind, I'm on my hustle kind of thing. And this is like Cernovich is basically rage bait. So it suits two markets, right? The kind of people that get off on, flagellating themselves and hating on themselves and hurting themselves, and the sort of people who disagree with that, who are kind of soft. I'm not saying Jack is soft, because Jack has a point, but there are people that don't like to be told that they need to work harder. So it kind of hits two markets with one stone. That the word his wording is exactly the sort of marketing that gets the engagement going. So it's kudos to him, but like if you're over it, like if you've gotten to a place where you've got it made and you're kind of content and you have it, all things considered, pretty good, this post is not for you. It's just not. At some point, like, you got to ask yourself, like, are you working to work? Are you working for work's sake, or is there something you want to do or something you want to experience that the work enables you to get to? Uh, and I don't know. You could work yourself to death for years and still be unhappy. I know a lot of people in corporate who are like that. I know a lot of quote unquote business people that are like that, who have made the money. Ask any CEO of any startup at the moment, like successful, billion-dollar valuation. Ask them if they're happy. And they're like, I don't know, man. They kind of hate themselves. They kind of hate their life. They kind of hate their wife. They kind of hate that they're always in a panic. But they hustled, they worked hard. They struggled. And yet, all this money and nothing. So this post is not for me.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've had this conversation with my dad a few times, because he's been a business owner for, Jesus, I think almost 25 years now at this point. And he said, back in the day when he like first started, he was making insane money for back in the early 2000s. And he's like, that was when I had two guys with me and we were just cranking cars out left and right. We worked, 50 plus hours a week in Pennsylvania working on rusty ass cars. And like I said, making very, very good money for all the way back 20 years ago. And then he's like, now it's like, I don't make nearly as much. But he's like, I don't even talk to my customers, and not in like a bad way, as in like his customers trust him enough that when they drop the car off, they know it's going to be fixed in a couple days, and they just hand him ass loads of cash afterwards. He's like, I make dramatically less money, but I only work with one guy now, and just life is stress free. And for some people, Actually, I would say for most people, that's probably a good place to be where, like, I'm sure they're still going to be stressed day to day to day. And I mean, I think even in my current job, I think about this from time to time, like, this person's really pissing me off right now. This job's pissing me off. But then I zoom out and kind of think about it, like, actually, I work with a really good crew of guys. My hours aren't that bad. If there's nothing going on, I can leave early because, I'm flat rate. I'm not paid by the hour. And then I can come home and do what I want to do. And I have a very, very, very good work-life balance because I can do what I'm doing right now. I could go out and play shows if I need to leave early from work. That's no big deal. I get along with everybody. Everybody gets along with me. They respect me. They look at me as some kind of leader in the workplace as well. So but like I said, there's going to be those times where you're pissed off. You got to find that happy medium. And for everybody, that's going to be a little bit different. And, I've had the fucking grind set mindset where it was like, okay, I'd show up at 6:30 in the morning and I wouldn't leave till 7 o'clock at night working on a car that entire day. Just don't do that anymore. I don't care. Why would I want to do that? I'm making good enough money now that I don't have to worry about working, 12, 13-hour days anymore. And, I think that's a lot better than just grinding to grind,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no like moral imperative involved in that where you have to be working or you're not doing something right. There's a purpose to it. And I think, and also I think some guys take advantage of, even like in my previous jobs where, they being a team player, helping take care of the stuff, the responsibility around the work, stepping up. You want to try and do that stuff. But if you got covert contracts, you want to please people, it can be very easy for people to take advantage of you.
Yeah. I'm young, so I'm fresh from the experience. I can tell you it's not the trick with this too is that you don't realize you're being taken advantage of until you have to start asking yourself, am I being taken advantage of? Most people just, are happy to work or happy to oblige. And I don't know, man, being hating yourself subconsciously, I think is a lot worse than realizing, oh fuck, I don't like this. So I don't know. I think it's something every young guy goes through where they're working really hard. They want to impress everybody with a job they do. After all, it is what you do most of your waking hours. So you might as well get, social kudos from the people you work with and for the people you care about. But eventually you got to detach and say, hey, fuck it. I'm not my job.
Yeah.
Not my job.
Yeah, it's very easy to get guys to basically, as Ryan would say, Ryan Stone, that is, set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Yeah.
Don't give up.
He's not even a man. Not even a man. Yeah, it's very easy for guys because when they're younger, they always see a world full of opportunity, specifically in a workplace, and they think that if I just keep pushing harder and harder, then it's going to get me this pay raise. I'm going to get recognized, and I think probably all of us could speak to this, where that's really just not the case the vast majority of the time. That you think it's I think it might have been Dave that was saying it's like a covert contract where you just think if you just work hard enough, then you'll be recognized. People are going to give you praise. You'll get a pay raise. But honestly, that's not the way it works. In fact, I wish Mish was here because I'm sure he could speak to this a lot better than I could. But we just have this idea, especially when we're young, that people will recognize us for our better qualities when the truth is people are more worried about themselves, what they have going on, and how they can take care of everything in their life rather than looking to you to give you praise. And most workplaces don't even really do reviews that often. I think in my entire 13-year career, I've had 3 reviews. So that's an average of, one every 4 or 5 years in the entire time I've been working, multiple different jobs. So, once again, Mish, I know would be able to speak to this better, but sometimes you got to keep your options open when it comes to a workplace and then be honest and don't be afraid to fucking throw your dick on the table and say, all right, you're giving me a pay raise and you're going to give me something that I want or else I'm willing to leave. And it sucks that that's the way that work culture is today, but that really is the way that it is. They're not going to just go out of their way to recognize you and give you a pay raise, or at least most places I've ever worked, it's never been that way.
It's ultimately learning to be an advocate for yourself.
Yes.
And put yourself first, right? It's recognizing that yeah, you can work a great deal, and your work ethic can be up there, but you're a limited person, and you have other priorities, and you have things to do, and there are things you'd like to do, and there's nobody else that's going to do them but you. So um, ultimately, it's it's recognizing that you have you have value to yourself, and then from there you can say, okay, um, I can go to a place where I'm treated better, or I can, and if sometimes it's just a matter of saying, hey, I'd like more money. Not exactly in those words, but I've gotten raises just because I asked.
Mhm.
Um, so it's never like sitting there doing your thing and not finding where the opportunity is, or not pushing for it. Like it's a skill like anything else. You have to do both. You can't be the lawyer that's high, making a lot of money, making six figures. You can't be the fit guy that's making six figures and then expect girls to jump on your dick. That's not how it works. um, you're gonna have to put yourself out there and say, hey, uh, I'd like the asking price that comes with being an attractive person. And the asking price is uh, an enthusiastic sex life. So uh, if in order to get what you want, you need to go get it.
Well, and I think that's kind of where some of this grind stuff set or grind set mindset stuff kind of has merit, is that like there is a legitimate amount of work that you have to put in whatever endeavor you're going to do if you want to stand above the rest. All right. Like most people are going to kind of coast from day to day to day to day. But the point is that you shouldn't just grind yourself down to the bone for no other reason than just trying to prove yourself. Like if you're not being appreciated in your current situation, then either figure out why that is or leave, remove yourself from the situation because you're being taken advantage of, or at least in some situations, you know?
Back to the real man topic, because I really love that phrase. Um,
Do you
but
want sex and money?
yeah, um, real man is like one of those container words that, like, it's so easy to get a guy to do exactly what you want him to do by telling something. Like, I use this sometimes. A real man doesn't do this. A real software engineer doesn't do this. I do that all the time. Like, it's so easy because it you don't even need to substantiate it. You know, you just need to put those two things together, and then you're like, oh yeah, a real man does marry those hoes. Um, so it's such an easy thing to like. It's such an easy thing to like get a guy to do what he wants. Um,
Because it
if you're on the
appeals to
receiving
us.
end, go ahead, go ahead.
It appeals to our
Our
it appeals
nature.
to our nature for virtue. Not per se our nature, but our nature for virtue. And I think I'm saying that right. Because
I
shaming works
disagree, Jack.
so
I disagree. It
okay.
appeals to our insecurity.
Okay, fair. That's a good okay, that's a better way of putting it. No,
Yeah.
you're right. It appeals to our insecurity because we want to be competent. Of course we want to be competent. So when somebody that we might look up to says we are not what we are supposed to be, of course we're going to default to defending ourselves, explaining ourselves, into deering, to not validating ourselves, into what's the
No,
word I'm
I
looking
think
for here?
Deering is, I think you had it
Yeah, no,
right.
it's deering, but it's a different word I'm looking for. We want to blah 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 ourselves. What's that word?
Justify?
Thank you. We want to justify ourselves towards these people because they hid an insecurity. But you gotta wonder, who are they to pretend to be an authority towards you on what you are? Like, there's
Yeah.
people who tell me like a real man doesn't collect Legos. It's like, And what makes you the authority on that?
Exactly.
A woman, yeah, saying that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
other
or
women-
it's like, but a real man doesn't collect Pokemon cards. Says who?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can complain about Warhammer 40K or guitars or whatever. I mean, what does a real man not do that? Of course he does, because he wants to. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
Did you
Like
see Mac? Did you see Mac's response?
I
Kenzie
think I
Puff,
did, but I can't remember.
I'll
Yeah.
see if I can pull it
What
up.
it is.
But
where it's like, you know what? I don't care. You're Indian.
okay, yeah, fair enough. But it's like anytime you hear people say like masculinity or anything having to do that would basically put you on the back foot about being a man, usually it's like 99% of the time people are trying to manipulate you. Whenever they say, "Oh, if you're a real man, you know, masculinity is this." It's usually because they want to pull you into their frame and they want you to agree with them. It's almost it is a validation seeking behavior because they're looking to get you to confirm what they already believe. When you know, I wish Nuke was here because he's a genius for saying this, but I'm not a good man. I know it's not anything revelatory, but it's absolutely like a very, very good defense for that. Because anytime they say, "Oh, a good man would do this," it's like, well, I'm not a good man then because I don't conform to your standards. I have my own standards, or you know, the people around me. I trust their opinion more than yours. Like, if you're an irrelevant person, then I don't care what you think
Well,
a good man, quote unquote, is.
It's like what Rich Cooper used to say. Do you want to trade with the person who criticizes you? And I remember I was talking to a coworker about this, and he was a huge fan of Vaush. You guys remember Vaush? The bread
No.
tuber?
I wish I
Yeah.
did.
The fat neckbeard who used to debate
Horse
the age
fucker.
of yeah, he
Yeah.
used to debate the age of consent. The weird fucking dude. He's a nepo baby and everything. Champagne socialist. But he was a huge fan of Vaush. I'm like, why would I want to take his advice? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's fat. His girlfriend is fat and ugly, and he's probably on meds. He doesn't work out. He doesn't take care of himself. Why would I want to follow his advice? He's like, oh, well, that's shallow. I'm like, it might be, but I know I'm happier for it.
Yeah, it's like your life in comparison to that. You can decide if you think that's somebody worth listening to. Like, if my dad told me something and he thought I could do better, then I'd be like, okay, well, maybe he's right. I'll consider that at least. But like, when you look at some of these people like Destiny, like Valsh, like you said, the bread tubers, it's like, do I really care what they think? No, I really don't. So why should I even give any thought to what they're saying?
Yeah, they're complete strangers. They don't care. You could die tomorrow and they wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
So why are you taking their advice on how to live your life?
I don't know you. I don't know
Yeah.
you. Who are you? Like, do you have what I want? Do you have something I strive for? No. Why the hell would I care? You know, like this woman, like Mega. I've never heard of you. I've never seen you. You're not my type. You're not blonde. You're not thin, and you don't have big tits. What the fuck do I care what you think? And you're a woman.
Exactly.
Now, most of all, you're a woman.
First of all, yeah. First
Yeah.
of all, you're a woman. Opinion disregarded.
Yeah, but pretty much. Like, oh no, random stranger on the internet. Let me throw away all my collectibles, which can probably pay off your student debt, because probability is high you have one. And then let me sit at this desk and stare at the wall and do nothing.
Ultimately, like, I don't know. Some of these girls have poor taste. I feel so sorry.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I've dated girls that were not into like pour over coffee. Girls that are not into film photography. Girls that are not into Chinese gong fu tea drinking. I can talk about that another time. Girls that are not into software engineering, or girls that are not like, they all have poor taste. That's all I'll say.
Mm. It does have to be a little sad to be just like at the whims of whatever's popular and picking up on what recent trends.
Yeah,
There's
a
the
lot of girls are
curiosity.
imitating. A lot of girls are imitating the Australian Ner because that they saw it on TikTok. You know what I'm talking about, David?
I haven't seen the Australian thing. No, I'm not. I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
so instead of girls saying no, like a normal human being, they're copying the Australian accent by going ner on message.
Ner.
Ner.
What the heck?
N-A-U-R-R-R-R-R.
It's like people picking up that y'all stuff always annoys me.
Yeah.
Hey,
Why are
y'all.
pirates pirates? Because they are.
Oh, goodness.
I'm glad to be from Pittsburgh because we just say yins. So
Yeah. That's
Snipe.
just, I didn't realize that was
Oh, yeah.
a thing in Pittsburgh.
you didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
Yins, buggy, gum band. There's a few other like Pittsburgh words. Warsher is another one that people say. The parking chairs. Yeah, there's like a whole different language and culture in Pittsburgh. If you look up on YouTube, the Pittsburgh Dad, it kind of it describes it.
Are all of these racial slurs or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Like-
parking chairs is in like people will set like a lawn chair or something like that where they park on the street so that way people don't take their parking spot. People call it a gum band instead of like a rubber band. Buggy for like a shopping cart. What the hell do they call a spigot, right? For a faucet.
Yeah.
Washer for like washer. And then yins is like you all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's
If I
not
get
like Jamaican patois, right? So like Jamaican patois is, right?
no.
So Jamaican patois is the way they, have you heard Sean Paul sing or any Jamaican talk? Yeah, that one, Jack. That exactly that. So Jamaican patois is I wouldn't call it a language. It's like a dialect. But you will see it. You will see it. In fact, in Google Translate, Jamaican patois is an available language to translate to.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. Go search
I know.
it.
I've seen people translating stuff like that for
Jamaican patois.
not necessarily Jamaican, but I think like Ebonics or something, just to
Oh,
see what it translates to. I think Ebonics might be one too.
there's a Mormon. So the more the leaflets. I don't know if it's
Good
the Mormon,
afternoon.
but the Mormons have these leaflets, right? Like they give out like for Bible study and shit, or like was it the Baptists? I don't remember, but there's a Jamaican patois translation of those leaflets when the Mormons go to Jamaica.
I
Who
did not
really
know
run the world? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Needs to go bobsledding.
Yeah.
What is that film again with Louis Anderson?
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
That's the
Cool.
best one
Oh
ever.
man, Ryan needs to do Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings is an amazing film. The Jamaican bobsled team, or what is it? Yeah, bobsled.
Yeah, it's bobsled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dante, have you seen Cool Runnings?
Not yet. I have not.
Bro, you gotta see Cool Runnings. That's a '90s flick if I've ever seen
Yeah,
one.
definitely a
Have you
90s.
guys seen Project X?
I think I did.
Bro.
Wait, yes, I did. Project X.
Dude,
I've seen.
Dude, this is not a porn flick. Don't worry.
No, that's the party.
Yes.
They
It
did
is-
that in the Netherlands. Did you know that?
Dude, they did it here. Everybody who was anybody started a Project X party. All
Mhm.
right.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Bro, everybody tried because it was like the actors were not they're not Hollywood A-listers except maybe Miles Teller, but they were not in the industry. So these were ordinary people, and the way it was filmed, it was like it was a documentary, and the party just got crazier and crazier. I love it. I think it's a genre of its own. Watching it back made me realize how, like, Ryan was right. We had it good way back when, and that's just gone now.
I loved I just remember I think it was my first couple months in college. We did something like that, and yeah, the house was totally destroyed. My stepbrother was like, "Oh, go ahead, go back on to college. I'll clean everything up." And then my mom and stepdad called me like a week later. The part of the chandelier that my stepdad's like mom got her was broken. There were no sheets on any like the couches in the house. There was fucking there wasn't a single clean dish in the entire house. Fucking remains of beer bottles and like a cake everywhere. Pizza boxes stacked up. I mean, the house was a disaster. And yeah, my mom called me and was like, "What the fuck happened to this house?" I'm like, "Oh boy." That means he didn't have it.
Uh-oh. He did, in fact, not clean the house.
No,
I'd love to like go back to those times, because like whatever we have now and all this shit kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does,
People,
doesn't it?
people went out and had fun and did things and like made a mess. You know, those were great times. That was what real men did, you know, way back when, back when. Real men, you know, real men messed up. Real men trashed their own house, their own parents' houses. That's what real men did.
Yeah.
Stripper, thank you for the $10 Canadian search. Ezra Saint Patty's Day. Enjoy. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I had a party at this house, and I won't give all the details. You know, fuck it. I was like 21, 22, and there were some kids that were like 19, 20 that came over, and I was fucking trashed. One of the guys, so granted, once again, this is about 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. No, 7 years ago. So one of the kids that was over went down front of my house and did a big old burnout, and then somebody called the cops. There's half a dozen cops in my house, and I was just trashed. And then yeah, they ended up taking some people down to the police station. My roommate, who wasn't even 21, didn't get in trouble. I got in trouble, and like when we finally went to the judge, she was pretty forgiving. She's like, "All right, I'll just give you all like a $200 fine." It's like, "I could hit you with distributing to minors, but it's like, just, you know, don't do it again, behave." And then we're walking out, and the one cop was like, "Man, you guys party like fucking rock stars." I was like, "All right, cool." See, everybody paid their fine. Everything was all right.
Cool. That's back when I guess things were a lot cooler. So I guess that's a huge, what he's talking about is a huge party. I guess that happens on Ezra Avenue in Ontario.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
Cool. Huge block.
He showed
party.
me a photo. It's insane.
What is there? Has that been ruined now by the demographic changes, or it's still all right?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. That photo Ryan showed, where it's like, what was it? He was at something, Starbucks or something. What was it?
Pizza party. Parlor.
Yeah, pizza parlor. 1% white.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the same thing. Even down the street, there's a local market down the street, and that's all Hispanic. So it's, you know, that's just kind of some demographic shifts that have been happening.
Hey, but the great replacement is just a conspiracy theory.
It, yes, certainly is. Racist conspiracy theory.
Yeah. You know what that means, right? In 6 months, we'll be right.
Good old, I like that. Project F gave us Alpha Buddha Corey Worthington.
It was actually inspired by him. So Corey Worthington came first, and then Project X, and then it became Project X everybody. Yeah.
Man that inspired a trend. Good old Corey Worthington.
Yeah, dude. Like how awesome do you have to be that's your legacy? You had the party basically, like that's legacy right there. If you know you guys want to build your legacy, like
I don't even want to know what became of him either. Like he's probably like settled down, as like 2 kids.
He went to prison, but anyway.
He did?
I thought he married. Yeah, I thought he married like some single mom or something like that. Some like hideous single mom too.
And he went to prison, but that's his legacy now.
Isn't that Anakin Skywalker, the child actor? No, seriously, Anakin's child actor. I remember him. He got addicted to drugs. He became a fucking meth dealer.
What is it with child actors and drugs?
I don't know. It's
too fast, too much, too soon, man.
Could be, yeah.
Maybe
giving kids money might be a little bit.
And he was bullied in high school for playing Anakin, which is the stupidest thing ever.
Damn.
It's like, was there no dad around who told him, like, "Hey, kid, they're just jealous, you know, because you played little Darth Vader. That's what you did.
Yeah, that's
Oh, well.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's rough.
I don't want to be a child star. I don't want to be star. Period. So.
I mean, I could live with it.
I can't, man. All that attention, all that money, does something in your head.
I
Really?
would rather be rich than famous, though. But
Yeah, I mean, I think getting all that like attention when you're a younger guy, especially like in high school and stuff, I don't think we as people are quite like we don't understand how to process that very well. Like, do you ever look at like most celebrities? Typically not like that good of people. And I'm not saying that like all of them are shit people, but it just seems like fame for people at a certain level is very, very, very difficult to handle and to maintain any kind of level of anonymity. Like I listen to Kim Iverson every here and there. She's a little bit more of like a center left kind of personality. And I remember her saying, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but I understand. She was talking about JD Vance and how he tweeted out something about his when Vance was calling the protesters that were following around a shit person or something like that. And I thought it was pretty funny. And I kind of agree. Like, if you see somebody walking with their 3-year-old daughter, just leave them the fuck alone. But at the same time, you are the vice president and you can't really expect to live a normal life after that. Now, once again, I'm not condoning it, not saying that it's right what they did, but you can kind of understand that, like, now you're like the second most famous person in the face of the world. So you got to expect that like some degree of privacy is just going to be removed by default. Once again, not endorsing that. I don't agree with it, but unfortunately that's the world we live in, you know?
Yeah. There was one last picture I had to share here. This is, I hate to almost bring her up, but she's like the perfect poster child of real men TM, because this is Nancy Mace is obviously a woman that sued to destroy a male space, and now that her space is being invaded, she
What's her
immediately
history again? Sorry, I don't know this chick.
Nancy Mace there was she wanted to get into like this military college, and then she sued to be part of it, and I think she was like the first person that graduated from a previously all male military college, and then now she's upset because I guess there's a trans representative in the house that wants to use the women's bathroom, and she's fighting against this trans.
I thought those guys were removed, right?
What?
The whole LGBTQ thing is over, right?
No,
like Trump put a stop to
show.
No.
It sounded good when he wrote those executive orders, but it's not quite as cut and dry. It's just like done.
I saw a guy in Congress addressing a troon with him instead of her.
Yeah.
And they lost their mind. It's like, I am a woman. It's like, nope. You're a he.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not woman enough.
Yeah, I mean, credit the Rolo for this. Just don't use their language. You don't have to bend over backwards to, live in these people's complacencies and mental illness. Like, that's not on you to do that. You can reject that outright. And I don't know. Nancy Mace, I remember watching her on an interview with Kibbity for Liberty, who is actually like a decent enough guy. I think he was like a staffer for Rand Paul back in the day. And I remember watching her. I'm like, wow, she seems pretty cool. She's like, oh yeah, I'm this Ron Paul Republican and all this anti-war. And then all of a sudden, like just over the last couple of years, I'm like, this bitch is fucking insane. Like it's just like this girl boss Zionist bullshit. Just get the fuck out of here,
Yeah. It's amazing. She like still brags about being the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, while at the same time, I guess you can't see the disconnect with the fact that now she wants to stop this person from using the bathroom. And it's like turnabout's fair play, in my opinion. But
I mean, who's she's obviously a very attractive woman. Who's going after this girl and trying to hit her up? Like. I'm guessing that she's like any other girl that wants the touch of a man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, look, most of the time, a lot of the time. Like a girl's being whatever, and then she finds a boyfriend, and the bullshit stops. I don't know why. I can't connect the dots. I don't know what the causes are, but for some reason it does. Who's up to the task? That's all I have to say. She's not a bad looking girl. She is not a bad looking girl.
Mm-mm.
So who's up to the task?
Dan Baltic was tweeting about her. Apparently, there's a photo of her in the hot tub with a glass of alcohol, and he's like, "When the MILF teacher hands you over a roofie or something."
Can you send it to me? Can you?
If I can find it.
Jesus.
Dan,
okay.
Dan Baltic. Baltic.
Don't leave me blue ball like that, man.
No. He retweeted it plenty of times.
Like, to me, this just sounds like something a stupid girl would say. That's kind of funny. And take her out for drinks, bring her to your place. I don't know what the kids do these days, but
Oh, here it is.
Back in my day, that's what we did.
Yeah.
Here, I'll put it in a post-zero chat. You're about to lose your virginity to your best friend's mom on a family ski
Oh,
trip.
hell yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Would.
In a heartbeat. Like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Dude, let's fucking go. Somebody right now, somebody in the chat. Somebody has to do this. We gotta get these ornery bitches out of here. We gotta put them out of business. All right. You're use what you got, guys. Show them what you got. We're coming after these ornery bitches. We're saving the West. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Who's with me? We're gonna do this.
We're gonna win, and it's gonna be amazing. And it's gonna be great.
To me, and you're gonna say, Dante, please, we can't keep winning. It's too much winning.
I need too much winning, and I'll say no. We have to win more. We have to win more. More. I love you all. We're gonna win more. I still love that.
Mike Cayman trade. You gotta okay. DM me this video because I'm interested. I'm telling you, man, these girls, they just
they get to have it all too. Like, it's amazing. They get to have videos like this surfing around. I could still be a congressman. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was a congresswoman who had an OnlyFans, and she won.
Wasn't there like an Australian
congressman?
To be fair, this has been kind of going on for quite a while. There was a congresswoman back in like 2008. I can't remember her name, who had a leaked sex tape. And there have been quite a few over the last like decade or so. It's going to get normalized, and I really don't think there's anything.
I mean, really soon women will be left out if they don't have a sex tape.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wasn't there a hot like European prime minister that was like, or some sort of leader in one of these European countries, kind of like a hot chick that had like videos of her partying?
Yeah, that was somewhere in Scandinavia, but she was just partying. She didn't do anything extravagant. Dancing and drinking, but no nudity.
Dancing at the club. Well, I mean, even then, if that's like the leader of your government, do you want them doing that? Like,
I mean, they already went wrong by electing a woman, so that's where you go wrong.
That's where you know you've lost.
I was like, I don't care if she parties or sucks 12 dicks in a row. It's like, no, you went wrong by it being a woman. Like her not sucking 12 dicks doesn't make her not a woman.
The border's the only thing you need to keep closed.
I mean, if she sucked 12 dicks, it's a testament to her work ethic. I think she should be elected. No,
we need Lily Phillips.
Let's be.
Yes, Dante. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. But yeah, like if we're gonna call out chicks for partying, that's kind of lame, bro. It's like, dude, like we want girls in party places.
Mm,
You know,
I guess that's the
happy hour
difference
is
between
not.
men and women is like we want one to have party and have fun. The other one we want them to work to the bone because that makes our life one makes our life better and the other one I guess makes our life better, but dramatically different callings there.
So
You guys party, be
heads
sexy,
up,
have fun.
Yeah.
heads up to the guys in the chat. Like happy hour is not a reward. Happy hour is the bait. So if you wanna, this is actually the whole point of the episode. I think it's like having fun is an opt-in thing. It's not like fun will happen to you after you work yourself to the bone.
Mhm.
Like happiness and fun are an opt-in thing. The reason why you're not having fun is because you're not putting yourself there, right? So like if you want to be where this prime minister of Sweden is, then be at the parties where the future prime minister of Sweden will be. I don't know.
You know what? I remember reading this back in the MySpace days. This girl who was kind of a nut, she had posted a thing that said, "No one cares if you're sad, so you might as well be happy." And I know that's like so stupid, but I always remember that. And I'm like, nobody really does care. So what the fuck's it matter?
True. I mean, can we just be happy instead of wanting to be right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard.
I mean, I
But-
can't be angry on the internet, Jack. Like, what will happen to my career?
Yeah.
I don't want to be angry, I don't like being angry. I mean, sometimes I like getting riled up every now and then, but for the most part, I really don't like being angry for some odd reason. I just ignore the retards, I mute them, I block them, and I move on with my life, and I'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
But
very
for some
hard.
odd reason, everybody everywhere needs to have an opinion about other people's lives. It's like, don't play with Legos. Motherfucker, what?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah,
Who the hell are you?
when
Yeah.
it comes to anger, I've always kind of been able to, and this is going to sound super enlightened. So if you don't like it, just is what it is. But like,
Speak, Buddha. You
yeah,
got,
I
you got the
always,
looks, now play the part.
I just kind of always talked myself out of it because, like, in the moment, obviously it's difficult to kind of calm yourself down. But like, if you're going to do something out of anger, the way I always looked at it is like, okay, if I respond this way right now in anger, what are the long-term consequences to this? Am I going to regret this? Am I not? What's the long-term implication of this? And then usually by the time I'm done kind of having that conversation with myself, I'm normally like, okay, yeah, I don't really care anymore. It's not worth it.
Pretty much. I've got a chocolate waffle.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to eat it yet. I kind of want to lose weight, but its due date is the 25th of May, so I have some time. I just wanted to share that with you all. A little bit of like positivity, a chocolate waffle.
Well, this is your first birth, so congratulations.
Well, thank you.
It's due in the okay, yeah.
Shut up. It's expiration date.
Expiration date. A deliberate miscarriage, huh?
Are you having a boy or an abortion?
Yeah, I found out that we're having an abortion, so it just is what it is, unfortunately.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Did you know the Sonic films are actually pretty fun?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my wife and I started watching the second one the other night, but I was feeling like shit, so I took a nap because I just wasn't feeling too hot. Yeah, the first one was pretty good. Even the Mario movie, despite like all the girl boss kind of shit, if you can look past that, which you got to kind of unfortunately expect in a lot of films nowadays,
Yeah.
it's still a pretty good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a show that my wife and I watch as well is oh, I'm sorry, The Rookie. The Rookie. It's a show about a dude who's like in his 40s and then decides to become a cop. And like, yeah, there's all this girl boss stuff. And of course, all the men in the
Yeah.
show are all just useless duds that can only be saved from themselves by the women in there. But like still the content of the show generally good. So
Is that the show where like he's fixing up a light in the park and the black guy comes and complains about it? Or no?
that is in one of the episodes, if I remember correctly, like
Yeah.
early on. But yeah, like one of the really good shows that isn't like full of the girl boss shit is Reacher. Reacher is fantastic. And they're doing the third season. Yeah, Reacher's awesome. The
Did
third
you know
season right
the
now.
Dutch giant is in there? Niels something something. This guy's
Hold on.
7 foot something.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Neil Dutch.
The Dutch giant. The Dutch giant. Niels something. Can't remember.
Oh,
He-
Olivier Richter.
Oh, Oliver. Yeah, Olivier. Olivier.
So he's tall even for a Dutchman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Olivier
it's-
Richters. Yeah,
it's
Olivier
funny
Richter.
because,
He's huge.
Jack Reacher or Alan Richson is a big motherfucker, and he looks big next to fucking Alan Richson.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but this guy is motherfucking huge.
Richter,
Which is just insane how big this guy is.
It's kind of funny that it's Alan Richson and Oliver's Richter's, like their name is pretty close together. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 7'2" bodybuilder's new villain. Yeah, it's hilarious because Alan Richson is like 6'3", and then that Olivier is 7'2" as a big boy.
7'2". It's like that's just insane, you know.
Yeah, my father-in-law is 6'8", and he's a big boy. So somebody that's 4 inches taller than him, that is a big boy.
6'8".
Yeah.
6'8".
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
Mm.
Holy
Yeah, that's
fucking shit!
Him and Larry Wheels. I think Larry Wheels is like 6'2", something like that. Right?
Jesus.
Larry Wheels is a big boy too.
Jesus.
Mhm.
I know the Tates are like 6'4", 6'2", and 6'4". Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
short for a Dutch guy. You know?
He looked like Joe Rogan next to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Holy shit! I bet he gets all the girls.
Yeah. You don't
Wanna
have to
bet-
get on your knees.
Like it's like with Thor Bjornsson, Hafthor Bjornsson, like the guy who played the Mountain. He has like this 5-foot girlfriend, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, she's got to be in pain, man. That woman
Yeah.
has got to have like cracked ribs and a leaky womb or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah,
yeah,
women
okay.
are more
Hopthor.
resilient than that. Ask me how I know.
Hopthor's
What?
6'9".
Wait, Dante, what did you say?
Sorry.
The female body is more resilient than you think. Ask me
Yeah,
how I
that's
know.
true. No, that's
Never
true,
mind.
then.
Yeah, like you gotta hand it to these chicks. Their bodies are kind of meant to take dick and deliver babies. So,
Mhm.
you
Oh,
know,
his
when
girlfriend
people-
is not that short. She's like 6 foot or something as well.
when
Really?
people when people
Jesus.
talk about the miracle of birth, like if you fucking see it, it really is a miracle.
Oh no. Hopthor's girlfriend or his wife is 5'2".
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking tiny.
Yeah. See,
Guys
the
like
female
that.
body is kind of meant
That's-
to take that on, and so
Take it
Good.
like a man, bitch.
Dimorphism, yeah.
nature's
Beautiful
nature's
thing.
cool. You know, nature's cool that way.
Let's
It
see.
is. It's very beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, Eddie
The way-
Hall's
the
6'2".
way they
Jesus.
said it. Yeah, it is. It's very.
Nature is very beautiful.
it's like he's watching Animal Planet, and there's like this fucking
Gorilla.
lion who just took down a gazelle, and then David's like David Attenborough. He's going, "It is. Nature's very beautiful."
Hey, but it is.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Can enjoy it. You can be happy about it. You don't have to grind all the time. It is.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
saying that.
there is
Go
a
ahead.
quote I think from the Bible that says something like, the sparrow, the birds that fly in the trees, they don't labor, yet they're
Yeah.
more beautiful than I think I forget what it was, Solomon's
Something
code or
like
that. Yeah.
you're better than they are. I mean, you're worth more than they are.
Mhm.
Like why are you worried? They don't seem to worry. They always seem to find food somehow.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah. It's it's just a reminder that, like it's not life's not all work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're the girl that takes on a 6'2" dude, and sometimes you're the guy that climbs a mountain and plants a stake in a 6'3" chick. So
Right on. So let's wrap this up, guys.
Okay.
What's up, Kyle? What do you got to promote?
This week's going to be pretty interesting. So last week, unfortunately, there was a scheduling conflict with the guest I was going to have on, but we fixed that. He's going to be on this week. So I have Wednesday night, mutual friend of, I think, most of ours, Jose Nino, coming on Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, I think everybody knows him here. Dave Green is going to be coming on Thursday night for my show. That's Kyle Matovic and Liberty and Health podcast. Really looking forward to both those conversations. And A Common Crown is my band. We're playing with Lacey Sturm, formerly of Flyleaf, or actually still a Flyleaf, playing with her Friday night. Yep. And
don't make her sing "Smells Like Teen Spirit" though.
No, I won't.
Okay, thank you.
She must be bad at it.
Oh, you've never seen that cover?
No.
Oh, don't.
Okay, all right. I won't ruin it then.
In Flyleaf, she's absolutely amazing, but that cover did not go well.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay. So no cheering for her at the Raindrop Inn. So yeah, that's gonna be Friday night, and then Hate Grenade out in Evansburg, Pennsylvania, Saturday night. So we got 2 shows this weekend. So yeah, Common Crown and Liberty and Health. Lots of stuff going on this week, and yeah, I think that's it.
Hate Grenade. That sounds like an awesome anime attack. Heat Grenade. Boom.
Yeah, maybe it's bad for me because I haven't done my due diligence and checked them out. So maybe I'll do that here soon.
Nice.
What's up, Jack? What you got going on?
Okay, last essay was released yesterday, Sexualization of Brotherhood, How Male Friendships Are Being Looked Down Upon in Popular Media and Fiction. Go check that out on Substack. Right. We're almost at 1,200.
Sweet. That's amazing. All right. Dante, what do you got?
Yeah. I wrote this essay, I think, a month ago, but I'm going to promote it anyway.
Why not? It's evergreen.
It's the essay on happy relationships, kind of my notes on what relationships are like, based on everything I've learned and based on everything I've experienced, and based on the notes of everybody else, including the people that we know and love. It's a tough one to swallow, not gonna lie, but I think it's a lot of things. I think it's an essay that even I will go back to every now and then when I'm going through my relationships. So feel free to read that, and then let me know what you think, because I think I value comments more than anything else right now. I really do want my writing or the ideas, or like the synthesis of the ideas, to be a lot better. I like it when I have a conversation with the audience. I do. I want to understand where you're at, so my writing can, get closer to you and bring you to the topic a lot easier. So that's all I have.
Right on. Of course, Scartham podcast every Sunday, 9 a.m. EST or whatever time with daylight savings time it is now internationally. I don't know, but it's there every Sunday. That's pretty much it for all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you later.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. No outro either.